welcome. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and no doubt you've heard there's and I want to use the word pandemic, a pandemic of coronavirus going around the world at the moment. Unfortunately, our governments don't deem it fit or necessary to tell us what's actually going on. So I figure I'll step up and tell you what I've found. This video is all about practical information, okay? I've had a lot of psychic flashes because I'm a psychic. I also do astrology. And there are some Western astrological signs and also some Chinese animal signs that do appear to be more susceptible to viruses in general. So I'm going to cover these in my next live stream / video. So this video is all about what you can do practically, okay? I'm calling it a pandemic because it's in 97 countries, and the definition, one of the definitions of a pandemic is when it's worldwide. And because of all of the different countries that it's now in, I think it fits the definition, but our governments are not calling it a pandemic. They're actually trying to play it down. And there's a lot of false information getting around about the actual numbers, and the numbers are actually higher than you think. So whether your government is releasing the correct information or not, it's up to you to go and do some research and find out, okay? So let's get on with this, and we'll move to the board now. And I'm sorry, I did actually try to do this yesterday, and what happened was, thank you Mercury retrograde, but the sound didn't turn out. Since then, there's been changes overnight. First thing I want to talk about is the hotline numbers. In Australia, we have two hotline numbers. The first number here, 1-800-020-080, is for general information about the coronavirus. The second number, 1-800-022-222, is if you have any symptoms such as flu-like symptoms, a cough or a fever, and the fevers can come and go very quickly, like in a matter of even minutes. You could be fine one moment, 10 minutes later you've got a temperature. It can come and go like that. Okay, so these numbers are taking calls now in Australia. In the UK, it's 111 is the phone number, the federal government hotline number to call. Having said that, I read that last week they dropped over 100,000 calls that they didn't take. So they're being swamped with calls, which just says to me that they haven't put enough resources into thinking about what is actually required. Now, the US government, I can't find a federal hotline number. I can't believe it. I've looked and looked. I've just watched Mike Pence twice addressing the nation with very little information, in fact. I had to watch it twice because the first time I was dumbfounded and I couldn't get over how they were all saying how wonderful they are, but where's the actual practical information that you need because you've got a sore throat or you think you might have come in contact with somebody that has coronavirus. It was very short on practical information. One thing I found was that apparently some of the states have a hotline number. So, for example, Washington state has one, but again, they're dropping many thousands of calls. That says to me, if they're dropping calls, that they're under-resourced. They haven't actually considered the numbers of people. So if you're in the US, I would try and find a phone number for the state that you're in. I had a look at the CDC website. The information on that is out of date in terms of the numbers of people that are affected. And I'll go through that in a moment. Just quickly, I'll give you the top 10 countries in the world for coronavirus. These are places I just wouldn't be going. But besides that, I wouldn't be travelling anywhere overseas at the moment, to be quite honest. I was thinking about going on a cruise in Norway and Iceland in August. I'm not going now. Number one countries, China, then South Korea, Iran, Italy, Germany, France, Japan, Number 8 is Spain. Number 9 is the USA. And number 10 is Switzerland. Okay, so 97 countries, as I said before. One of the false things that's getting around at the moment is the death rate. Governments are constantly downplaying the death rate. It's 3.4%. It's been released in Australia just a few days ago, and it's much higher than previously thought. People are comparing coronavirus to the flu. It's not the flu. Yes, the flu does kill people. 0.1% of people die from the flu, okay? With this, it's in the region of 3.4%. The other issue about it is the rate of transmission, how spreadable it is, and it's at 4.12%. So its spreadability is more or less the same as the Spanish flu, okay? Much higher than the regular flu. Okay, so I tried this yesterday. That's why there's squirrels all over this now, because it's changed overnight. 64 reported cases in Australia, 2 deaths, 1 person critical in our population of 25.5 million people. In the US, there are 305 reported cases with 15 deaths, 8 critical in a population of 330 million people. So these reported numbers are, very low for the population, but of course it's just getting going. Now, one of the issues is President Trump did talk about going to work. I don't think he was telling people to go to work when they had coronavirus. I think he was more or less just remarking that some people will go to work. So please do not go to work if you have any flu-like symptoms, because you could be passing this on very easy. It's very transmissible, okay, or transmittable. Do not go to school. You need to get tested. One of the issues seems to be in the US that getting tested seems to be a bit of a thing. Apparently now the states can test, but normal doctors can't test. I'm not sure of the situation in Australia. I haven't tried to get tested. But I imagine if you call those numbers I gave you, that you'll be able to, find out how to get tested. Okay, if you're interested in numbers, if you're a numbers person, go to worldodometers.info/coronavirus. Okay, so these figures on this site are within 24 hours. They're updating them daily, okay? These are the reported numbers, not the actual numbers. Okay, so let's go to some practical advice that can help you. You need to wash your hands many times a day, obviously before eating, after going to the bathroom, touching surfaces, especially when outside your home, and touching other people, okay? Now, I want to talk about just there on that point briefly how long it lives on surfaces. There's lots of misinformation going on about temperatures and things like that. Coronavirus can live up to 9 days on a surface, depending on various factors, including the temperature. Is it exposed to sunlight? It doesn't like sunlight. Sunlight will kill it. So if your temperature is over 30 degrees Celsius, it's likely to die around the 4 to 5 day mark, okay? And you need 7 days of continuous over 30 degrees Celsius. In US temperature speak, that's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. If you live in a colder area, you're just not going to get that, okay? If you live up the top like Washington State or New York or somewhere like that, it's not warm enough to kill it, basically. So it can live up to 9 days. So that's how it gets spread, because it lives so long on surfaces. Okay, so you need soap is better than antibacterial gel, but antibacterial gel actually still works. So if you're going to go out and shop and buy stuff, which is what people are doing in Australia at the moment, we've run out of toilet paper in the shops now here. Many of the shops are, not all our shops. Mind you, I don't shop, so I haven't been there and actually eyeballed it, But my husband tells me that there's a limit of 1 roll per person I don't know, they must be cutting the packets up into one roll lots. And he's in a small country town at the moment. He's not where I am. So he's there for a few days. But yeah, a limit of one roll there. So it depends where you are. You know, Australia is almost the same geographical size as the US. So it's a bit hard. We're 7/8 the size. So it's a bit hard to say that's the situation. That's the situation where he is. I haven't been shopping, so I don't actually know. But I'll probably buy my shopping online. It was reported yesterday, if you buy online, there's a 6 to 7 day delay. Excuse me, which is unusual because you normally get it the next day or the same day if you order early enough. Okay, so soap is better than antibacterial gel, and you want to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, front and back. Okay, do not touch your face without washing your hands first. Oh my God, try not to touch your face. It is so hard. I never realised how much I touch my face every day. Avoid large crowds. You may, as I said, you may prefer to grocery shop online, but there is a delay now. Keep up to date with current media, and you want to read a variety of media. Don't read the same thing over and over again because some of them are very, very biased and they're not giving you the correct information. Okay, get yourself tested immediately. Call those phone numbers if you have any flu-like symptoms or a fever, sore throat. There is a summer cold getting around in Australia at the moment, especially here in Queensland where I am. So that could be a little bit confusing. We're actually in autumn now. We've just gone into autumn or fall, as the Americans say, which means that the temperatures will be getting cooler soon. And that means that this coronavirus is not going to go away soon. There's been all sorts of misinformation. It'll be gone in April. It'll be gone in 3 months. You know, some people are saying 6 months. I don't think you can count on it going anywhere, to be quite honest. It might end up being like another form of flu that we have to deal with. The vaccinations won't be ready for at least 18 months. It's not even 12 months, it's 18 months now. So you have to, it's your job to look after your own health and your own immunity. And I'll come to that in a second. About the symptoms, and just because you don't have symptoms doesn't mean you're not contagious. There's a fellow tested in China that didn't develop symptoms for 27 days. I've also seen other reports of 24 days and 19 days. Most people, or what they call the mean, which is not the same as the average, but it's how many people, which group of people develop symptoms. Most people develop symptoms around 5 or 6 days. Okay, but you are contagious before that period. Masks. Everyone's panicking about masks. Limited effectiveness, but you know, if you've got the disease, you should wear a mask, obviously, so you don't infect other people. Some people, I saw in China, some people are wearing 2 masks just to make sure. That's probably a good point. Depending on the mask you get, some masks are only good for 6 hours. Okay, so you need to check the life of your mask. The other thing, if you don't want to be bothered with all of the checking of how long it's effective, is to get a respirator, which are, I don't know, probably a couple of $100 or something like that. Avoid people who've been to China, Iran, Italy, South Korea. We have to put Germany in there now. Germany and Japan. Avoid international travel. I mentioned about the vaccines, 18 to 24 months. Stock up on essential groceries. Don't forget your animals. A pet dog has been reported as being weak positive to coronavirus. It is believed that the dog caught the coronavirus from their human. Okay, it's not the animals spreading it to us, it's us spreading it to the animals. There's lots of conjecture over whether it was bats, snakes or pangolins that actually caused this disease. Look, to be quite honest, I don't believe any of that, because I know Chinese have been eating bats and all sorts of animals for thousands of years, probably for a long time, and they haven't developed this before. Okay, so SARS, MERS and this COVID-19, they're all a member of the same family. You know, there's a research laboratory a bio research laboratory just outside Wuhan. It's only 30 kilometres away from the seafood market. I really feel that the virus is man-made. I'm not sure who made it, okay? I did get a psychic flash the other week that it is not designed to kill people. It is designed to hinder economies, slow down economies, and that's its main purpose. If people die, they're considered to be collateral. This is awful talking like this. I hate talking like this. But whoever invented this wants economies to slow down. So it could be the American government. I don't know. I wouldn't say it is. No, I wouldn't say that. It could be the Chinese government developing it to use as germ warfare against the Americans. Could be the other way around. Who knows? All I know is I know the Chinese have been eating these animals for a long, long time, and these sorts of things haven't been a problem until SARS, MERS, and now this, and they're all in the same group. Okay. Stock up on essential groceries. Keep your pets away from animals you don't know, okay? Because we don't know the exact situation with animals at the moment, it's probably better if you go for a walk in the park not to let your dog near other dogs. Save some money if you can. Take vitamin D supplements, supplements for viruses, garlic, turmeric, etc. Okay, this is not because garlic is going to save you from the coronavirus. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying build up your immune system, okay? 50% of Australians are deficient in vitamin D. So 20 minutes in the sun in the morning to help your immune system. Take an immune supplement. I take one with cat's claw herb. The leaf, it doesn't mean it's cat's claws. It's not actual cat's claws. The leaf is the shape of a cat's claw. That's why it's called that. Okay, carry tissues and antibacterial wipes in your handbag and use them when you're outside your home. You know, if you've got to press an elevator button or something, use a tissue. Or you're going to, walk up the escalator and hold the railing, use a tissue or an antibacterial wipe. Keep your immune system strong by walking when it's not too cold. Have massages in a warm room, get your circulation going, and take warm baths. If you have long hair, particularly when it starts to get cold, if you're down in Tasmania, it'll be cold already. Time your hair washing days so that you've got plenty of time to dry your hair, especially if you don't use a hairdryer. Okay, so there is some spiritual advice, but I will do that in the next video. Okay, so thanks so much. I just wanted to set the scene about practical advice, so people don't actually feel helpless. That there are things that you can do to minimize the probability of you picking anything up. Okay. So I'll come back to the spiritual advice very soon. Thanks so much for watching, and give this video a like if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and bye for now.
Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.